Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here at the PGA Merchandise Show. I got this cool little corner here. It's a little early in the morning and I'm taking advantage of the situation to come and have a little bit of talks. Matt has been asking me to do a little more of these videos for you. And you know, I thought it was a pretty cool idea. And what better place to start than at the PGA Merchandise Show. I came down here on Sunday and went to see our good friend John Carroll in Naples, and we had a fantastic day of teaching together on Monday at the Alico Family Golf Center. And thanks again, Craig, for letting us use your fabulous facility. You know, great grass, great golf balls, fantastic operation. If you're in the Naples, Fort Myers area, Alico Family Golf Center is a great place to go. The wonderful little par 3 there to keep your short game sharp, and just a fabulous range and all the amenities that go with that. It was pretty funny. I want to talk to you about reconfirming our position as wisdom in golf and the stark contrast in ease, not only for the student but for the teacher. Just unbelievable. We had a student that came in and who was taught, of course, that you had to resist with the lower body and don't move the legs. Keep the legs very steady. This gentleman is in his mid-60s and wondering why his backswing is so short. And I asked him at one point, I said, you know, why don't you do your imitation of John Daly's backswing? He says, that's what my swing used to look like. I swear, his swing, his hands were not even close to being belt high. And it was the biggest shoving action. And because it was pushy and shovey, it was easy to stick it in the ground, and it was easy to thin the shots and scull the shots. And because he wasn't moving his body, his arm club unit was coming way to the inside, crashing up against his body. And he was coming way from the inside. And wow, did we work hard to get Brian back onto the human planet. So it just goes to show the preconceived notions as far as taking lessons. If anybody ever tries to, you know, make sure you get into these positions and you're a little bit too much here and you should be more there, what's the purpose of those positions? What are you getting ready to do? So it has to be a task to a target, period. And we just have to figure out what the best task is for you. So we finally got Brian to open up in the backswing. And if you look at the chipping videos, terrific way of really opening the takeaway. The takeaway, you know, by the time your hands reach waist high, you should basically be fully turned. But that's, you know, that's the positioning aspect that we're talking about. That's what you'll notice that happens in our swings. But how do you really get there? Well, best way to do it is, if you remember, if I start from here, I want my arm to go this way. Well, notice how the rib cage and the pelvis has to get out of the way for my arm to have access that way. So all I got to do is, if I'm facing you and I'm tossing a ball over here, my body is going to naturally turn out of the way so my arm has access. So just simply having a ball in each hand, toss one that way and toss one that way to very specific targets, you'll notice that you'll glide right out of the way. Your brain's going to go use the ground, get you out of the way, and your arms can swing freely. And that's how you open up the swing right out of the gate to allow your arms full access to swing to your target. So our mission at Wisdom in Golf is to get you easy tasks where it's completely brainless and the central nervous system already knows what to do to accomplish the task, and you end up with ideal golf positions. So I'm here at the show. Obviously, I'm going to see the people at Foresight because they have this new GC Hawk that's going to allow us to have a simulator where we can go back and forth, righty and lefty, because we have a few of those up in Toronto, Canada, and in Quebec City, where I'm headed for the Royal Quebec Golf Academy. I'm so excited. So we have our 2 locations now, one in Quebec and one in Ontario, and hopefully we'll keep growing the brand up in Canada, and eventually, hopefully, well, we're already growing the brand in the US. You know, you look at John, he's in Naples doing fantastic, and Richard Rice, who's our Director of Instruction at the Wisdom in Golf Academy in Williamsburg, Virginia at Forts Colony. And you have Mr. Ricky Serrano, who's at Cattail Country Club in Frederick, Maryland. Gorgeous facility, fantastic teacher. So if you're in the Washington, D.C. area, you got to go see him. And so we continue growing the brand that way. You got Cody Vanderford out in Dallas. Hey, man. So I hope things are going really well for the Prosper Golf team. And heck, so I figured, Matt, this should be good for our first little get together. And wishing everybody an amazing day. Stay close to, we're trying to do a better job with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And anytime you have any suggestions for videos, please feel free to ask. I mean, it's easy to get a little lost in the jungle here, and we got our head down and we're plugging hard, and we have our mission at Wisdom in Golf. Sometimes a little hard to raise your head and smell the roses and see what's going on around you. So I appreciate any of the suggestions that you send our way. We'll talk to you soon.